Hi, Roger here with Roger's $100,000 portfolio 2-minute pre-market update and the $200,000 challenge. Well, it looks like the market is going to be down this morning at least. The futures are down. But I have a special announcement that I want to make in just a minute. In the meantime, let's take a look at where we are. Okay, here's our portfolio, and our holdings right now are in yellow. We talked about on Friday that this was kind of a primitive approach, but I think it's really a good way to go based on what's going on in the market. It's very unusual right now. So here we are. The portfolio is sitting at 103,631. All right, $103,631. Now, we've been messing around for, I don't know, month and a half here. We started out with $100,000 and we've been up as high as 108,000. We've been down as low as 89,000. And so 103,631, in one hand, I think, that's not very much for all of our work, but yet the upside still looks really good. I mean, we have to be patient here, but if you were doing this for a living, it certainly, wouldn't be paying the bills at this time. A year ago, I read this book on investing and through a pretty prominent investor, and he's on a lot of news programs and that. And it was a really good book, and it was really opened my eyes to investing and the basics of looking at fundamentals and then technicals and then the news and how it affects stock prices and that. And so it gave me a fresh perspective of what was going on with my money, because before that I had my money in the market, but I really didn't actively invest it. And so I began to take control of it from that point. And so if anything out of this whole thing, I really gained a greater understanding. Well, actually, this book was free. So I got online, I registered for the book. You put in your phone number and your email. And I've gotten several emails from that company. And I did talk to a guy one time, and I said, well, how much is this service anyway? And he really wouldn't tell me, or I didn't let him get to that point. And so I got a call over the weekend from this company. And, you're just in the right frame of mind. And I was up for the challenge. So I started talking to the guy, and he's from New York, It was a pretty good conversation and seemed like a good guy, but the guy's a salesman, right? So I have my cynical hat on. And so he started talking about the program that they talked about in this book. And he said, basically what I was doing was primitive, like we talked about on Friday. And I knew it was primitive from what I understood from the book. But he said, what you want to do is take it to another level. He had several suggestions for me in my portfolio and thought that I could make a lot. He didn't really disparage my approach, but he had some suggestions. And so this is what I decided to do. So what we're doing here is we're going to have a challenge. We're going to have Roger's $100,000 portfolio go up against the pros. So I signed up for their program for 6 months. Okay. So here's the deal. The first part of their program, they call it the portfolio approach. So let's take a look. These are the key stock market sectors: communication services, consumer discretionary, consumer staples, energy, financials, healthcare, and you can read through this: industrial, materials, real estate, technology, utilities, and cash. When you look at the stock market, almost all stocks fall into one of these, 12? Yes, 12 categories, okay? Notice there's cash down there too. And so depending on where the market is, it's in an up cycle or a down cycle, they say that you should weight your portfolio in different sectors. And that's basically their formula for success. Now, this particular guy boasts that he's beat the S&P by so many percent every year since, 1920 or whatever. But the idea is that hey, the guy's very successful. So in my 2-hour conversation with this guy on Friday, I decided to take a dive. So I signed up for the program, and here's what it was. They have 2 different types of programs. They have the portfolio approach program, and then they have a trader program. And the trader program is basically you buy a stock, you're in it for a couple days or maybe a week, and then you get out of it. And then you're in and you're out, and you're in and you're out. I'm not a trader because that's like a full-time job. So I signed up for the portfolio approach. So what does it cost? Okay. So it costs $4,000 for 1 year for just the portfolio approach. And if you wanted to do the trader approach, it's $4,800 on top of that. So I was like, whoa, I don't know if I want to, sign up for all that, especially right out of the gate, but we'll see. So I signed up. So I said, I'll sign up for this thing for a year, but you called me. I didn't call you. I don't spend that kind of money over the phone, although I'm somewhat familiar with you and your organization because I read this book. And so call me tomorrow. So the guy ends up calling me tomorrow, and I thought, instead of spending $4,000 or a year, let's do a test. Let's compete, right? So I think I really like what we have in our portfolio. I think I like the potential gains. So I signed up for 6 months for $2,400. And what we're going to do is we're going to take their recommendations, line them up, and I'll give you all the information, everything that they tell me, I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to line up my portfolio against their portfolio strategies, and we're going to see who wins. So Roger's $100,000 portfolio against the pros. So I may be embarrassed by the time the whole thing is over, but the bottom line is hopefully we're going to make some money together. And I'm really excited to share it with you and to see where this thing goes. So the guy ends up telling me at the end of the call, he says, look, if after 30 days, if you like it and you've made enough money or whatever, you can still sign up for the year for the $4,000 as opposed to the $2,400. You get it. 6 months, $2,400, so they're going to charge you a little premium, whatever. And if you want the package price, if you want that trader program too, at the end of 30 days, you can add that on. Instead of being $4,800, the whole package for the year would be $7,300. So what I think they do at the end of the year is they decide how much they're going to hike the price on you to stay with the program based on how much money you made. One of the qualifying questions that the guy had is he says, well, how much do you have in the market right now? And I really didn't want to tell him, but I get a feeling if I told him that, I had $1 million or $5 million or whatever, I think that price would have been a lot higher. A little bit of the salesmanship game that they play there. They're confident that they're going to make a lot of money for you. And so what's it worth? So, I told him that I had 100,000, but that I was going to put in another 100 and then go head to head. So I told him what I was doing. I didn't tell him about this channel, but I told him what I was going to do, and I was going to compare their strategy with mine, and he was all about that. So I think it's a pretty cool thing. We'll see where it goes. I'm going to tell you guys all the information once again. Because of the program that we have right now with Fidelity, when you cash out of a position, that money is not really available until like 1 day or 2 days after. So it's going to take us a couple days to implement the thing, but I'm really excited about competing against these guys, and we'll see where it goes. So right now the market's down today, at least in the futures this morning, and we'll see where it goes. And hopefully we'll talk to you after the market closes. Roger's $100,000 portfolio. We'll see you then.